So this is a talk I gave at one of our conferences. And I thought, what the heck, man? Let's go ahead and put it on y'all. And don't take offense from where I come from. Hopefully it'll help you regardless of your faith background. And let's see. Don't hang up. Give me a chance. Give it a chance. All right, so the talk, Andy wanted me to talk about emotional maturity. And there's a lot of layers to this talk, and I might even veer off from how I did it at that one conference. But so let's define what emotional maturity is. It's your ability to understand and manage your emotions, all right? It's not running down the street naked when you're excited or wanting to jump off a bridge when you're depressed. It's staying kind of right in the middle, man. So it's your ability to understand and manage your emotions. The other part of emotional maturity is making good on the commitment that you made when you were emotional. Like if you're at a revival or at one of our functions and you're just so caught up in the emotion of the event and you're just like, I'm going to do $20,000 a month, or I'm going to become an agency manager in 6 months. You get all like wrapped up in it and the whole euphoria of being in an event around like-minded, excited people. And then, you drive home and you get home and then Monday comes around and you like wake up and you're a little bit less excited. You didn't have a good day Monday. Tuesday comes around. All of a sudden by Wednesday, like it's gone. Like your emotional high is gone and you got to operate with real life when you come back. Okay. And a lot of people, what happens is they get all high and fired up. And then when they get home, and they say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to change this, I'm going to make this a habit now. And then they get home and that emotion's gone, and then poof, it's gone. They start doing something, but then they don't have the emotion to back it up, and then they go settle back into what they've been doing, right? And I'll tell you what, man, when you make a decision that you're going to change something, you're going to change your trajectory of your life, something's got to change then in what you're doing about it. Like you can't keep doing what you're doing and expecting different results, right? The definition of insanity, it's like, I'm going to get here. Well, if you look at all the things you've done in your past, how come, you're still where you're at, right? I mean, probably one of the most depressing things I think is when you get to New Year's, as it's going to come up like in a couple months, and then you think a lot of times we reflect, particularly January 1st, you reflect, where was I last year? Or like midterm elections is coming up. Am I better off now than I was 2 years ago? Right? It's that question. And a lot of times it's a sobering question because it's like, man, I've not moved ahead. I've not developed a better relationship with my spouse and my children. I haven't had a better relationship with my Lord. I haven't done all these things. And it's like, Bo, why not? And you look at what you've been doing, and you've been doing the same thing that you've been doing, right? And so if you want to be a year later and you have to reflect on the prior year, a year from now, right? Are you going to say the same thing? Or are you going to say, dang, man, this was a great year. I've got a better relationship with my children, my spouse, my business is jamming. I got a lot of good stuff going on. I learned to overcome certain things. And this is why it happened. Because a year prior, I wasn't doing this, and this. And now, this last year, I turned it into what I do when I wake up. And every day is a day helping me to move towards that goal. So emotional maturity is you get all fired up about making a goal. Can you still make good on the commitment long after the emotion is gone? So, actually, Jesus talked about this. He walked the earth a couple thousand years ago. And then, he had his own leadership conference, actually. And one of his agents called Matthew, he took some notes on it. And so Matthew, he writes, this is Matthew 13:3. Then he told them many things in parables, saying, a farmer went to sow his seed. As he was scattering the seed, some fell along the path, and the birds came and ate it up. Some fell on rocky places where it did not have much soil. It sprang up quickly because the soil was shallow, but the sun came up. The plants were scorched and withered because they had no root. The other seed fell among thorns, which grew up and choked the plants. Still other seed fell on good soil, where it produced a crop 160 and 30 times what was sown. Whoever has ears, let them hear. Now that's a significant sentence because he only says that very specific times in the Bible. Whoever hears, let them hear. It's like putting an exclamation point on this parable, right? So now it's like, Alex, what does this have to do with anything? Well, let me tell you. This gospel according to Alex means, oh man, I learned so much by doing these talks because I'm like teaching myself, right? So listen to what the parable of the sower means. When anyone hears the message about the kingdom and does not understand it, the evil one comes and snatches away what was sown in their heart. This is the seed along the path. See, some of y'all are so new to this business, and you're like walking around going, oh my gosh, what do I do next? Or you're trying to slug it through the licensing class, and it's like, oh my God, is this worth it? And you're sitting and staring in front of a computer going, oh my gosh, this is drudgery, this is so boring. And then you react to your feelings. You were fired up when you first saw this business. You saw my videos, I explained it to you, and you get like, oh man, I could really see an opportunity here. But then slugging your way through class, you forget sometimes what you were excited about, and all of a sudden the drudgery and boredom of getting through your licensing class all of a sudden becomes greater than the reason why you decided you want to do this. And sometimes it's that hobby idea, like, or that let's just try it out. Let's just see if this is going to work, right? It's that let's just try it out mentality. It's like, dude, seriously, look at what all the things you tried, quote unquote, tried in your past, right? And you failed, or you didn't follow through on it, which is typically the reason. Well, it's probably because you didn't do what the successful people were doing, and you didn't maintain that focus because you forgot why you did it. There's a thing called burnout, and I love when I hear people say, oh, I'm so burned out. It's like, bro, the reason why you're burned out is you forgot why you're doing it. You know, it's like your relationship with your spouse. Oh man, this relationship's so boring. Maybe I need to go find someone else, right? Well, come on, man. You forgot why you got married. Sometimes I think when you get mad at your spouse, you just got to remember back in the day, why did I marry this person? What was the points about their personality, the things that they did for me? Why did I fall in love with them? I think sometimes, man, it's almost like counting your blessings. Always revisit that, then all of a sudden you're not so mad at your spouse anymore. I don't get mad at Jenny. I'm like, I appreciate her. I've got gratitude. Oh my gosh, she puts up with me, so that's all I need to do. Man, she puts up with me. Yeah, so you get all fired up. You don't know what to do next. Man, when you're in this kind of don't know what to do next, call me. Call your upline. Just call me and I will guide you. What do you need to do next? It's all this thing breaks down to is what you need to do next. It's not what are the 15 things I need to do. It's what do I need to do to move forward? Another step closer to what I want to accomplish. Here's the thing. Exhortation without explanation leads to frustration. I absolutely know that and I understand that. We get you all fired up, right? But we don't explain what you need to do next. And this is why you get frustrated. Well, if you're in a fog, you can call me, right? You see this? This is your tool. This is your tool to connect and help me help you get down the right path, right? Let's go to the next one. The seed falling on rocky ground refers to someone who hears the word and at once receives it with joy, but since they have no root, they last only a short time. When trouble or persecution comes, because of the word, they quickly fall away. Here's one thing, gang. Seriously, there are invisible forces that attack you. That's what I believe. There are things that are against you, especially when you try to move your life in a forward direction, going towards what God wants you to do. There are forces that equal and opposite that will try to pull you away, right? Stuff are going to pop out of nowhere that you didn't anticipate. We see it all the time. I've seen this. I've been in this type of business. I've been in this business 19 years, and prior to this, I've been in another 7 years. And one thing I know for sure is when anyone ever made a quality decision to move forward, the enemy comes and gets you, man. And it'll cloud your vision of what you want to accomplish. It's like, putting grease on your windshield, and you can't wipe it away. You need help, right? You need help. And you lose your vision, and you lose your focus, and then you fall away. Next one, the seed falling among thorns refers to someone who hears the word, but the words of life and deceitfulness of wealth choke the word, making it unfruitful. Now look, man, when you go to a hotspot meeting, when you come to a conference call, when you go to a function, you're leaving behind the stuff that you have to deal with and getting into an environment of positive people that want to help you, right? The problem is you go back to that environment. It's going to be back there. So when you know that you get pumped up, when you get on a conference call, when you get to see vision, that you come back to where you're at, and then you got to do something about it. This is where you got to get tough, right? Don't let someone choke this out of you. Don't let circumstances beat you. Then finally, but the seed falling on good soil refers to someone who hears the word and understands it. This is the one who produces a crop yielding 100, 60, and 30 times what was sown. Here's the thing. You can look at it as you happen to be good soil, or you happen to be the path, or you happen to be in the thorns, or you happen to be on rock. But here's the thing. You get to choose that you get to be good soil. And you are the good soil that when the seed falls on you with all the things we're teaching you falls on you, that it will grow and it will multiply. Okay, so how do we do that? How do we help you become good soil? Number one, in order to be good soil in this business, you got to totally subject yourselves to what the system can do for you. I'm telling you, man, picking and choosing, being a cafeteria alliance system person is spelling disaster. Because if you pick and choose what conference calls you want to get on, you pick and choose what functions to come to, you pick and choose what hotspot meetings you need to go to, well, oh man, you're going to be that rocky path. You're not going to be fertile because the meeting you miss is the one you needed. Sometimes it's just one thing someone says, like what Karen said. She helped a person bring cat food from her car. She served someone. And maybe it touched you out there. It's like, whoa, I thought this was life insurance. Gang, it is our version of life insurance. It is God's life insurance, not man's life insurance. Man gives the award, but God gives the reward. You know what I mean? So like in your heart, you got to be looking at this, just my opinion, as a bigger calling. And I promise you, it will help you get rid of all the crap, all the feelings about the crap. See, because we know that it's coming. We know that you're going to encounter issues. You're going to encounter challenges. You're going to encounter underwriting. Oh my gosh. You're going to think underwriters are the devil's spawn because they won't issue your policy. You're thinking, oh my gosh, it's a she-devil right here. No. Yes, we have those challenges. And I know you're banking on that $5,000 commission. It's like, dude, seriously, keep writing. Keep learning how to get better in underwriting. See, you have to make the decision in advance how you're going to react when things come your way. Are you going to get freaked out, or are you going to say, you know what? I'm going to compartmentalize my emotions, and this is what I'm going to do to fix it. Or I'm going to call Alex, and he's going to help me fix it, help me get through it somehow, right? I had a great call with Shelly Denneroff-Thompson, and she just needed to talk about the struggle she's going through, and I needed to listen. I need to listen. And she just needed me to listen. And she's continuing on. She said, well, I'm get through it. It's like, wow, that's so cool. You know, because she knows that she needs to do this. She knows that she needs to continue and try to find a way to do something different to move forward, right? So coming to events, listening to conference calls, being at everything that we offer you to learn and to get better, hotspot meetings, man, you got to be there. If they're like, I don't know, 2 hours, it's worth driving there. Like you guys went to Durham, right? How long did it take you all to get there? An hour, 20 minutes. Hour, 20 minutes. Did it help? Yeah. Absolutely. So either you need to go so that you can get encouragement, or you need to go so you can give encouragement. See, we're a team, gang. And remember I said how the numbers work, where half your unique writing agents are going to produce every week, right? So half of y'all killed it this week, and the other half is like trying to. So at a hotspot meeting, that's how it works. So we all encourage each other, and you start developing yourself as fertile soil when you go to functions, when you go to hotspot meetings, when you make a commitment to go to national conference in January, when you make a commitment to read books, like all these books around me, commitment to read at least 15 minutes a night, right? To, again, help you become good soil. Here's another method of becoming good soil. Think about the 3 people you need to spend more time with and the 3 people you need to spend less time with. Who are the 3 people you need to spend more time with? Hopefully it's someone who is advanced in where you want to be, like in the business. Spend more time with producers that are producing instead of complainers that are complaining. How about that? How about getting around Andy Albright, wherever he's coming close to you, 6-hour drive, you go see him. I promise you, he's going to attract all these people that are fired up and positive. You need to get around him. He should be the #1 person you need to get around the most, right? Now think about the 3 people you need to spend less time with. Okay, so you ever spent time with someone who just sucked the bone marrow out of your bones? They're so negative. They walk into a dark room, they develop. That's such an old joke. I know. I know people, kids have no idea what that means. Back in my day, they used to develop film like, spend less time with those people who are not supporting what you're trying to do for you and your family, man. I don't care if it's a close friend or relative. Spend less time with them if they're not supportive. You don't need that crap to drag you down. I promise you, right? So the 3 people you need to spend more time with and the 3 people you need to spend less time with. Boy, talk about helping you become good soil. That alone, right there. Number 2, make a list of 3 income-producing activities you need to increase a little bit more. I'm not saying massive, but a little bit more. And 3 time-wasting activities you need to do less or eliminate, right? Eliminate. Stop doing the things that drag you down and start doing more of the things that will help you feed your family, help you become better, help you to do more with what you have, the time that God gave you. So make a list of 3 income-producing activities you need to do more, like you need to dial more. Maybe you need to order more leads. Maybe you need to listen to more MP3s from the Alliance Media app. Man, you got to download that, gang. All the stuff that Andy's ever put out is on there, right? Go to the YouTube channel for the Alliance. Watch all those videos. You got to get the stuff, man. Put the good stuff in your head. A little bit more. Maybe you're you're not even doing it. So one video a night before you go to bed. I don't know, it's just something more that you can do. All right, then what are you doing, need to do less? Are you checking Facebook like every 2 minutes? Jeez, you will suck your life in Facebook. And who are these people anyway on Facebook? You know what? I didn't know there were a lot of people with my name out there, but I started getting friended by all these Abians out there. And it's like, I have no idea who most of them are. Okay. Anyway, I'm friending everybody because I'm using my Facebook to market my business. I'm not doing it. Okay, sometimes I'll rant. Okay, but sometimes. Anyway. All right, the next one. Make a list of 3 things you're going to do to serve the team more. So what are you going to do to serve the team more? Are you going to post stuff on our app, on our Slack app? Are you going to post good stuff, encouraging things, encouraging other people? You know, are you going to serve people that way? Are you going to serve people by going to your hotspot and saying a kind word to somebody who needs it? Like, why don't you practice your people skills and be open and free with your compliments and lifting other people up. It's funny when you are down and you go to a meeting and you work your butt off to serve the team and to say a kind word to someone, all of a sudden you're not feeling so bad. See, because you take the eyes off yourself, you put it on other people, and then, man, that's what God wants you to do. He wants to spread his light on other people through your smile, through your uplifting comments, man. Be someone like that. Next one. List 3 things that you appreciate about your growing up line. 3 things you appreciate about whoever that is. Could be me, could be Andy Albright. Alex, I don't like you. Okay. So that may be a given, but I promise you, if you focus on the things you like about me, then maybe you will think differently about stuff I say to you. I mean, I don't care if you don't like the person, but there got to be something that you respect maybe, right? Look, you don't pick your parents, right? You don't pick your parents. You don't pick your siblings, okay? In this business, you can kind of pick your upline, I guess. But what do you like and appreciate about them? The person that invited you into the business, right? And then the person who's counseling with you, man, spend some time with them. Schedule a time to counsel with them on what do you need to do next. I need to talk to y'all more at least once a month on what do you need to do next. How do I need to help you move forward, right? There's several people I've talked to in the last couple of weeks that we've gotten their mind right. And man, I'm very excited for where they're going. But man, we need to talk more. Like I'm talking to David all the time in New York. He is like, we're constantly talking, like several times a week. And he's just getting started. He's learning. He's trying to get better, right? And that's probably one of the hardest things to get is to submit your ego to someone who wants to help you. It's submitting your ego. Part of submitting your ego is not thinking that I'm too busy. Gang, your upline's never too busy for you. They might be busy, but they're not too busy to accommodate talking to you. It might be midnight, so you got to accommodate them, but they're not too busy to accommodate you. So don't even get that out of your head. I want to be bothered. Okay, so bother me, right? All right. So good soil. Good soil is getting around the right people to become good soil, getting around other people that are of good soil, okay? Right? We got some weed pulling to do on you, right? And that's what the system will do. We'll pull the weeds out and cultivate and fertilize you so that when the seed's planted, when Andy says something to you that just blows you away, that it'll grow and multiply in your life and what you do, all right? I know this is a little bit of a departure from our X's and O's of underwriting, of closing the sale, of the upfront contract, okay? But this is probably the most important stuff that I could talk about. Again, going back to emotional maturity, following through on what you decided to do long after the emotion is gone, all right? Making a quality decision to continue on and to avail yourself of every opportunity to fertilize the soil within you so that the good seeds that are planted are going to grow. Okay? So get to your hotspot meetings. Make a commitment to go every week. Get on the TWC, the Wednesday call at from 12:30 to 1 Eastern time, 12:30 to 2 Eastern time. Get on the product call at 1 o'clock today, right, Eastern time, Thursday. Get on the activity call Friday at 10 a.m., right? Those are like that's minimum wage, man. I was telling a teacher, I go, dude, like, how can you expect, like, can you expect to give an A to a student who only comes to half the classes, right? Or blows off exams or homework? What kind of grade would you give that guy, right? And then I said, dude, you're the student. The system is the teacher. Andy Albright's the teacher. And when you miss class, when you miss hotspots, when you miss TWCs, when you miss the opportunity to read every night, you are missing class. You're not doing your homework. And then what grade do you expect to get? Are you going to get an F? Or are you going to get an A+, right? And you know what? You're going to get a grade for effort. So we appreciate your effort. The effort of doing all the 8 steps to success. You know, the results will come later. Remember, it's a seed planting. You can't expect the harvest to come right away, but you can expect the harvest to come for sure, right? And the more fertile ground you are, the quicker it's going to come, baby. I'll promise you, January 2019, all bets are off. Things are going to be rocking like never before. I'm so fired up, man. So many great things coming like you've never seen. And man, I just want you to, I really want to tell you what it is, but I can't tell you what it is. And then we're going to get briefed on the whole thing the first week in December. So that's going to be the official unveiling of our program for the managers. And then it'll start propagating to be put in place in January. So gang, fired up. Thanks for plugging in. I appreciate y'all. Let's kill it next week. If you weren't on the leaderboard, let's figure out how we can get you on the leaderboard. If you're not on the leaderboard, if you're on the leaderboard, let's figure out how to help you maintain or even do more production. I'm here to help you, right? Be the fertile soil. And man, we'll be planting seeds in you so you'll grow 160, 30-fold. God bless everybody. Rock on.